for e-commerce, right? If a lot of stores, out there right now, didn't make the transition fast enough from, their, homegrown local stores up into the e-commerce and the business, they're getting spanked by, Amazon, they're getting spanked by Newegg, they're getting, hit by all these companies that made that transition into digital business faster and are successful at it, right? A lot of those companies are, they're running solar, some are running Fusion as well, so a lot of, successful business out there is now, they're moving into that digital space. Again, 47%, projected revenue, influenced by digital alone. That's not even just limited now to e-commerce. That's growing, right? That's support centers are moving into a deeper search, right? So other areas, enterprise search, the best companies I've seen out there with good enterprise searches are finding efficiency there, right? And search itself, is a really I'm trying to get this slide to move forward here, hopefully. There we go. In search itself, it's a primary value, in this transition, right? A lot of the best things that I did with search, even before I came to Lucidworks, was building, scalable applications out of a search engine, right? Most search engines are scalable, Fusion and Solar, of course, on that list, but a lot of applications are now being built on top of search that may not necessarily have a search basis. Looks like I skipped the slide here, but skip to this slide. But anyway, either way, if you can't find what you're looking for, then none of these use cases work for you, right? We've ran into a lot of these use cases just on GSA, and online retail, research and development, there are tons of use cases that can be built off of search, and not to mention, scalable applications that you can build from your search engine. But what we've seen, what I've seen, I've been working with enterprise search for a while. I've done a lot with e-commerce as well, but enterprise search itself is broken. It hasn't really worked. It was supposed to be fixed. We would hope, 2 years ago, right? GSA actually, I definitely have nothing bad to say towards GSA. They brought actually a very good, platform into the search business. Various connectors, being able to bring all of your data into one point. But that was actually, I felt like, the limit of GSA's power, right? There, anything after that was custom development, modifying relevancy. A lot of GSAs, would, become irrelevant after 6 months because, they weren't being updated, right? A lot of that is kind of the goals of what we've done with Fusion. How we want to transition search into the future, right? It's more than just bringing in your data now. That's definitely, of course, a big part of it. We want to also be able to work with that data. We want a relevancy model that's dynamic. We want it to be evolving over time and not just static. So a lot of these things we'll take a quick view about today, and of course, as we keep moving forward, if you want to have any questions or you want to deep dive into something, after this call, feel free to reach out. But really, user expectations have changed over time, right? Your customers, your end users, they expect Amazon. Your employees, they expect Google, right? I don't know how many, that's part of why GSA was so popular, but I don't know how many times I've gone to a call and the customer immediately says, I want my enterprise search to work exactly like Google, and I have to come back at them and I'm like, well, you have about 10,000 engineers to make that, happen the way you want to, right? So that's part of the reason, and again, all of that, coming together. That's why we built Fusion, right? Big data. Big data was supposed to help eliminate all of these silos, right? I think Michael showed a great slide above of all of these various silos, Jive, all of these different S3 Box. Big data was supposed to eliminate these silos, bring it all into one place, to be retrieved. But in reality, big data failed in a lot of ways. Big data actually made silos bigger. It essentially added an additional silo to the entire stack, and it didn't help retrieval in any way. Big data search, and big data itself, kind of pretty much failed. And in the end, IT is not equipped for search, and this is really not a bash against IT at all. It's just saying IT has tons of stuff to do. They have 20 critical projects that need to, be done, over the course of the years, and they don't have time to manage and maintain search, right? You have to go out, you may have to hire someone to do, to maintain all of this. IT's just, they've got other things to do than to sit and